Welcome into the Chiefs Report, a victorious Chiefs Report after a wild, and I do mean wild, 23-20 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC Championship game. Welcome in. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. We're going to react to this one, plus do an early preview of Super Bowl 57. And listen, if you're fired up about the win, if you love the Kansas City Chiefs, then like this video. Hit that thumbs up icon. I want to set a record for most likes on this show, because how can you not be fired up? Not only are you going back to the Super Bowl, but you beat the Bengals, the team who had kind of had your number en route to doing it. It's a great day to be a part of Chiefs Kingdom. Chiefs 23, Bengals 20, as we react to this one, and we're going to preview Super Bowl 57 a little bit as well. I'm not going to lie, this game was very similar to the other ones, where for most of the game, the Chiefs were the better team, but self-inflicted wounds kind of let the Bengals hang around. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs made enough plays, and I got to give Spags and the Chiefs defense some credit. I might have tweeted out fire Spags at one point, but it was after he gave up a 3rd and 14. Forgive me for that. But they made enough plays. Mahomes made enough plays. And by the way, in a game where you could not run the football at all, as a team, the Chiefs ran it 20 times for 42 yards. You still go out there and beat the Bengals with the quarterback dealing with the high ankle sprain, and it was clearly a factor in the second half. It wasn't in the first half. I thought it held up well, but it started to become a factor. Patrick Mahomes was terrific, 29 of 43, 326 yards, 2 touchdowns, a back-breaking almost fumble where he takes the snap, he's trying to throw a quick screen, and it just slips out, 4 degrees outside, ball slick, I get it, but that can't happen. Bengals recovered and scored to tie it at 20, but you found a way, get the ball late, get a late hit from Joseph Osai, which was a late hit. Do not let anybody tell you that it wasn't. It's a tough way for Osai and the Bengals to lose, but Mahomes was clearly out of bounds, which, by the way, I think it's fitting that a guy dealing with a high ankle sprain, 3rd and 4, makes a play with his legs, gets 7 and out of bounds, gets the late hit to help. That's gutsy from Patrick Mahomes. That is a gutsy freaking play with the game and the season on the line. Osai get with the assist with the late hit. But the Chiefs were going to have a chance regardless. They would have been 8 seconds left, probably needing about 10 yards, but obviously the late hit helped make it easier. And then Harrison Butker, listen, he was sketchy all year, but in the postseason, he has yet to miss this year. 45-yarder was good from the right hash, and you win 23-20. Shout out to the defense, especially in the first half, making plays. Shout out to Mahomes for grinding this one out in a game where you could not run the football at all. We'll talk about injuries, by the way, in the second, but just incredible. Get the 15s going. I mean, Patrick Mahomes just gutting it out. I think it's a sign of toughness. It's a sign of character. It's a sign of a will to win. It's a sign of refusing to lose. You can't. This was not just another AFC Championship game. You were going up against the team that, if any team has given this team trouble over the past couple of years, it's Cincinnati. And look, they gave them trouble again. They gave themselves trouble, but they found a way to win. And that is what championship teams do. That's what championship quarterbacks do. Type 15 in the comments. Now, let's talk about some injuries, because there were a lot. Kadarius Toney, you lose him early to an ankle injury. He exited. Mecole Hardman, not quite sure what the injury was. I don't know if he re-aggravated the pelvis injury. He exited this game. JuJu exited. What was the JuJu injury? Do we remember? Knee injury. He didn't return, I don't believe. Sneed left with the head injury. I mean, that's 4 real contributors. So none of them seemed like super significant, but they were significant enough where they didn't return in this one. Now, obviously, you got the extra week off before Super Bowl 57 against the Philadelphia Eagles, which we'll talk about in a minute, but that will be something to monitor. You definitely did not leave this game fully healthy, but the good news is you got the extra week from Mahomes, and that ankle to get closer to 100%. Gutsy win. You can't say more about it than that. Chiefs 23, Bengals 20. We will talk about Super Bowl 57 here in just a moment. But first, I want to talk about today's sponsor, and that is Athletic Greens. I started getting going with Athletic Greens a couple of weeks ago, and I've never really felt better. Get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I recently started taking AG1 by Athletic Greens every day, and I've never felt more energetic. Football season can be draining at times. Listen to my voice. And I've recently lacked that extra push to get a morning workout in before work. But Now with my morning scoop of AG1, I'm back in my routine. Not only is AG1 helping me get back into good habits, I'm already seeing better digestion as well. Improving my gut health is something I've needed to do for a while, and now that's happening with a simple scoop every single day. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally couldn't be easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I just mix one small scoop of AG1 with water and drink it first thing in the morning. Boom, it's done. I also like that it costs less than $3 per day. That's a pretty good deal if you ask me. It's really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients. It's a win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free, yes, free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. So go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That link is in the comments and in the description. 1 scoop a day, going to give you better energy, going to support your immunity, and promotes gut health as well. You're just going to be feeling better about yourself mentally and physically. AG1 by Athletic Greens. Go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Link in the description and comments of the video. All right, let's talk. It's Super Bowl 57. We'll get that fixed. Super Bowl 57, not Super Bowl 52. Chiefs, Eagles, and listen, the storylines already are incredible. Jason Kelce versus Travis Kelce. This could be Jason Kelce's last year. There's chatter he could retire, so you got that. Andy Reid, who took the Eagles to 4 NFC Championship games and to a Super Bowl, and has now taken the Chiefs to a 3rd Super Bowl. So it's the Kelce Bowl, the Andy Reid Bowl. The storylines are going to be fantastic. Both number 1 seeds in the NFL. It's fitting that it's going to end this way. Chiefs, early on here, 1.5-point favorites, over under 49.5 points. Super Bowl this year is in Glendale, Arizona. It'll be televised on Fox, 6:30 Eastern on Sunday, February 12th. Again, 2 weeks between now and the Super Bowl. Let's just talk about some early, beyond just kind of the storylines, some things to watch. Well, number 1, these injuries that I just mentioned. I would assume Mahomes will be healthier for this game, which will be good. And I think the ankle honestly held up better than I thought it would. But we'll keep an eye on Hardman, Toney, and the rest of the gang, JuJu, and so forth. L'Jarius Sneed's, I think, a big one. Beyond injuries, I think if you're Kansas City, you got to do what you did against Cincinnati, and that's get pressure with your front four. That's going to be harder against the Eagles' O-line. So this could be a game where Spags gets back into blitzing more, putting pressure on Jalen Hurts. He's not the pocket passer Joe Burrow is, but he's also more mobile than Joe Burrow. Jalen Hurts, I think, now has a NFL single-season record of 15 rushing touchdowns between the regular season and postseason for a quarterback. So they're going to use him as a runner, especially in the red zone area. So that's going to be something to watch. I think in general, finding a way to rattle him in a moment on a stage like this, I think is very, very significant. Obviously, on paper, the Chiefs are going to have the quarterback edge, but Jalen Hurts has played very, very well this year. Number 2, I think you have to try and limit the run game, which the Chiefs did a pretty decent job against the Bengals. They held Cincinnati, actually a really good job, 71 yards and 17 carries. When Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, and Kenneth Gainwell are getting loose for 5, 6, 7-yard chunks, that's when Hurts can just cook because he's 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4. The whole playbook's at the disposal. But if you get him into 2nd and medium, 2nd and long, 3rd and long, I like your chances in this game. But if the Eagles are consistently getting 5, 6 yards on first down, I think that's where things get difficult. Now, for the Chiefs offense, can you run the ball more effectively than you did today against the Cincinnati Bengals? I mean, you rushed 20 times for 42 yards like I mentioned. I said all week I think you need to lean Isaiah Pacheco in this game, and that really was not the case. Now, what I will say is Pacheco did become a factor in the passing game. 5 catches, 59 yards. He's clearly been that lead back in the playoffs over Jarrett McKinnon, and I would expect that to continue, but maybe this is a game where McKinnon gets back involved. We'll have to wait and see, but I think you're going to have to find at least a little bit more success on the ground in the Super Bowl. I don't think 42 yards on 20 carries is beating the Eagles. I just don't. You got to find a way to scratch out 80 yards if you can. The run game's been real hit and miss this year. Some weeks it's been great. Others it's been like this, where you can't run the ball at all. It's a testament to Mahomes and his ability, even when you're one-dimensional, to make the plays. But it's hard to do that multiple times in a postseason against high-level competition. So I think you got to find a way to run the ball. And obviously, look, Mahomes has to be the best player in the game. That's it. He's the MVP. He's got to outplay the other quarterback just like he outplayed Burrow in the AFC Championship game. He's got to outplay Hurts, and I would say probably by a decent margin. That front for Philadelphia is nasty. They led the NFL in sacks. Chiefs were second, but Philadelphia, that front four, Hassan Reddick, Sue, they've got Hargrave. Linval Joseph has been a difference maker. It's going to be an interesting battle in the trenches. I know I'm kind of all over the place here, but there's a lot of things to watch out for in this one. And I think number one for the Chiefs is these guys got to be healthy. Like, if you're down, guys, Marcus Kemp caught a pass in the fourth quarter of an AFC Championship game. I hope Marcus Kemp ain't catching key balls in the Super Bowl. That means you're probably down to your last 2 or 3 receivers. That's big of a question. Now, Justin Watson was inactive, a healthy scratch. He would be available to play if 1 or 2 of your guys can't go. So I think that could be a scenario you turn to. But still, like, you need at least one of Hardman or Toney to be healthy for the Super Bowl, I would say, just because they give you such a different dimension with their speed and versatility. So, again, we'll take a deeper dive into kind of the X's and O's, the numbers from this one. But I want to kind of give you my initial thought on this matchup, the Andy Reid and Kelsey Bowl, as we'll call it here. Who you got? What's your early prediction? Type KC for the Chiefs, PHI for the Eagles. I would say the Chiefs have the quarterback edge. You could argue the Eagles have the overall roster edge. It's going to be very fascinating to see how this plays out. KC for the Chiefs, PHI for the Eagles. Super Bowl 57 is set, and I, for one, cannot wait. And, hey, don't miss any of it. Subscribe to the channel. The Chiefs Report is a family. We picked up over 1,500 new subscribers during our Chiefs-Bengals watch party. I had a blast. I hope you guys did as well. And, yes, before you guys ask, we will be live for Super Bowl 57. We might do a 2-3 hour pregame show. Who the hell knows? It's going to be an absolute blast. So subscribe, turn on your noties. I'm actually going to be live on Monday as well, 4 Eastern, 3 Central time for a live Chiefs Report. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Sub today.